Taking a look at some of the race 2 action now, held late in the day on Saturday afternoon, last race of the day in fact, and you can just see that the sun in the driver's eyes and the lowering track temperatures would cause problems in this race. Straight off the line, and immediately we had problems with Seaton and Samadhi locking wheels. You can see the two of them there, straight off into the wall. Damage done to both cars. Seaton would limp halfway around the track before retiring, and Samadhi unable to get off pitch straight. Too much damage to both vehicles. They'd be repaired for Sunday, but unfortunately no further part in this race. Taking on board with Seaton, and you can just see that unfortunately for him, with that sun in his eyes, him and Samadhi, I think just a case of moving over on each other, not realising each other was there. Mark Griffith probably got the worst start of the weekend. Driveline failure in the Ginetta, leaving him stranded on the start line. He'd take no further part in the race. Well, of course, with that one. Once the race restarted, Andrew McPherson was leading the field, but he was under pressure from both Salmon, who was holding off Ryan as well. Ryan really pushing hard in the no second chances Porsche. Behind them was Rose, and those guys were all fighting for position. You can just see the full field here all over each other. Ryan and Salmon would make swift work of getting past McPherson. Salmon with a little bit of a lead before Ryan would start hunting him down. Back further down the field, and the Porsche 944 guys were up from Victoria having a run with the Prod Sports. Studdard, Finn and Ross here battling for position. Unfortunately for Ross, into turn 1, you can see here, too late brake, probably brake failure, and straight off into the sand trap. That would cause a yellow flag that would condense the field yet again, as he was stranded in a bit of a dangerous spot. That would bring Salmon back to Ryan for this battle for the lead. In the late afternoon sun, you can just see there Ryan all over the back of Salmon. These guys really pushing hard, and unfortunately though, Salmon into the wall at Griffiths Bend. Don't know what happened there. Think it might have been contact with Ryan, and unfortunately for Salmon, that ended his run in the race. Pushing forward though was David Wall. He was on an absolute charge, dispersing quickly with McPherson and Paddy. Starting from the back of the field, he was up into 4th place in the closing stages, and his lap pace meant that he was likely to catch Ryan very quickly and put on a late race battle between the two Porsches. Everybody was seeking position, though many just trying to make it home as it started getting colder and colder trackside. It was harder to control the cars, harder to get temperature in the tyres, and everybody reported struggling when they got back to the pit lane. Here's Hughes and Withers battling for position. The Lambos really putting on a great show all over each other before Anthony Sewell would have engine dramas in the Lotus. Just look at the oil pouring out the side of it. Another blown engine for those guys. This was a motor they'd replaced before race 2. And unfortunately, that would mean a lot of work for them overnight before the biggest shunt of the weekend. Withers into the wall at the S's. Lucky there for the Marshalls trackside that they didn't get hit by any of the debris. And unfortunately, that would bring out the safety car, which would sadly end the race under yellow. Everybody being robbed of the Wall and Ryan battle for the race lead that should have happened at the end of the race. Wall with a lot of speed. You can see him there just behind Ryan, but that's the way these things go, and Ryan was handed a win for the second race of the weekend. So taking a look at the top 5, Ryan led home Wall, McLaughlin, Rose and McPherson rounding out those 5 top runners. We'll be back after the break with more action from the mountain on Blendline TV.